Hello everyone and welcome back to Weather HQ. In today's video we're going to be talking about how to know if a forecast is accurate. So let's not waste any time, and let's start with number one, which is multiple reliable sources say it's going to happen. This should be obvious, right? Like when you're writing an essay, you want to use this one source that says XYZ when the other sources are saying, I don't know, JKLMNOP. You got to use more than one source. If all the sources say XYZ, then there's a good chance that is credible. Same with forecasting. If the National Weather Service, the Weather Channel, and I want to say that's it, but I know there's probably more reliable companies out there, but those are like the two main ones that I use and I can trust. If those reliable sources say it's going to happen, there's a good chance it's going to happen. Although even with those two, they have been known to overhype certain events or just poorly forecast and then just put it off and then they'll still say that they got the forecast right, which is simply not true. Like a few months ago, there was this big lake effect event that was supposed to happen for Northwest Indiana. Only like one town picked up a decent amount of snow. And it wasn't even the forecasted amount of 6 to 8 inches. It was only about 4 or 5 inches. So, yeah, you can't always trust even the most reliable sources, which is the one I use. And the next one is forecast is in really close range. So you look at those forecasts that have like the 10 days, 15 days, and you look for, let's say, 2 weeks from whenever you look at it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be sunny and 75 degrees. Then by the time you get there, it's 95 and storming, I'm guessing. Although at 95 degrees, it's usually not storming. But anyway, it's 95 degrees and it's storming. So here you are, you planning this big old outdoor event, this cookout or whatever, and it's wrong. And the forecast was just wrong. Then you're like, those weather people never get it right. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though those places give those forecasts for 2 weeks out, sometimes even a month out, and those long range forecasts, that are like, oh, what's fall and winter gonna be like, even though it's the middle of July. You can't really trust those. I'm sorry. It's just, either we don't have the technology right now, or weather's just simply that unpredictable that we can't forecast anything reliable more than a week out, and anything extremely reliable more than 3 days out. Even 3 days out, a lot can change, especially with something as hard to predict as thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are arguably the hardest weather to predict, and you'd probably want to look at the forecast the day of or the day before. You might know the chances of storms, but you don't know exactly where they're going to form, develop, and track. So, yeah, it's best to keep the forecast in really close range. I'd say the longest range you can go out with anything is probably temperatures. Precipitation, different patterns of precipitation are always going to occur, even if you can't really predict those 3 months out. So I would not even trust those 3-month forecasts that the Weather Channel and the National Weather Service puts out. Although the National Weather Service is where the Weather Channel gets those from, so don't trust National Weather Service, I guess. So I'd say always keep it within 3 days. So don't check no more than 3 days out, and even then, take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes even the night before is unreliable, but I would only trust the night before if you want a 99.9% chance of that forecast being correct. So the third and last one is forecasting confidence and forecasters' disclaimers. So with big storm events that you see with the National Weather Service, a lot of times, usually they'll be they'll have these little bars at the bottom, and it'll say low, medium, or high confidence. And if they have low confidence check, that means take whatever information we're putting out with a grain of salt, because we really don't know what's going to go down with this storm or whatever is occurring. I'm sorry, I need to drink water because throat's getting dry from just sitting here talking. So And you also want to look out for the disclaimers they put. So if they say low confidence and then that disclaimer, like I just said, I wouldn't really trust it too much. But just be aware that a threat is possible in the near future. Medium confidence says that, okay, we know this is going to happen and we kind of have a general idea of where and when this is happening, but we still don't know exactly what's going down. And high confidence means they have a very close, if not an exact idea of what, when and where this is going down. And a low confidence would be, I'd say 0 to 30%, and medium confidence would be 30 to 70, and then 70 to 100% is a high confidence forecast. Not that that's super important to this video, but it is good information to know, especially if you go by the National Weather Service's forecasts that they put out. So, yeah, really it's all about common sense, though, just to recap here before I end this video. And know who you're getting it from. You know, AccuWeather, even though it's in their name, they say accurate weather, AccuWeather. They're not very accurate. One time they offered 90-day forecast, yeah. Like detailed forecasts. At that point, you're just making up numbers. There's no way you can know exactly what's going to happen 90 days out. Oh, today, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 85. Yeah, you won't know that 3 months out. Technology is not that good, and probably never will be for that type of forecasting. But yeah, I would only trust about a week or 3 days for more reliability, and only 1 day, 24 hours, if you want the most accurate forecast. Even then, it can be a little iffy, especially when we're talking about thunderstorms. They could just pop up out of nowhere and then also collapse right away. So, okay, I'm going to end this video right here before it gets too long. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Leave feedback below because there's always ways to improve, right? I do plan on getting a mic soon so you guys can hear me better, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.